you. Thank you. Welcome to MAGCon 2018. I'm so excited to have everyone here today. This is a marketing tradition like no other, one that brings together marketing professionals from around the world and brings them into one location each year to talk about how we're going to continue to market in our digital world. The digital world and this digital existence that we have is ever-changing, and it's changing at an extremely rapid pace. What that does is allows us to have access to information in our pockets that allows for the pace of change in the world to be faster than it ever has been before. And that's crazy. For marketers, that gives us this extreme trial and error period, this time where we have to continue to learn how to touch our audiences and touch our customers. And it creates this moment where we have to go out and discover what our new audiences are using to find our products. Marketers all look at marketing in terms of stats. And this is not something that's going to change. We have marketing for many years where everyone tries to make marketing a science. We all do it. But every single time we look at the metrics and the analytics of marketing and judge how it's being perceived by the customers, we always seem to be a couple steps behind. That's because customers are continually finding new ways to get access to information and access to our products. And we have to try to stay a couple steps ahead of them. It wasn't too long ago where the only way that customers would see your products is if you posted an advertisement in the newspaper or engaged in word-of-mouth marketing. And I saw this newspaper the other day from 1990, and I kid you not, it was 50 pages thick. It was huge. There was advertisements throughout it. There was everything you can imagine in it, and that's where people got their information. But what's happened is these companies have fallen behind. And everywhere you look, there's layoffs at media companies, and they're going out of business. Now, this is a bad example. This is an example that everybody uses. And what I want to do is I want to just take a step back and look at why everyone uses that example. It's because of the age of digital. When we look at this new age of digital, Facebook is 14, Twitter is 12, WeChat is 7. And every person in this crowd is, some people are holding phones. You guys got them in your pocket. The iPhone is 11 years old. That's crazy. Like, we've only had a little over a decade where we've had these products that provide information to us in our pockets. As marketers, we look at that and we scramble, because for just a decade have we been able to take that information and try to scramble to figure out how to use it. So in order to stay nimble, in order to work with the audience and work with customers, you have to be able to adapt. So don't overcomplicate marketing. If you overcomplicate it, you're not able to take the newest trends and the newest platforms and adhere to them. So to keep things simple, I like to look at things from this standpoint of touch points. A touch point is simply that. It's any time that your product or your service touches a customer. That could be from talking to a friend about it. It could be driving down the road and seeing a billboard. It could be going out and seeing a newspaper, scrolling through your feeds. It could be going out and trying to go down the road and see something as you're going to the newest grocery store. And I use this example because touch points really come into two categories, subconscious and inbound. And I want to go through both. Subconscious touch points are any touch point where You're just giving information, educational information about your products or about your service. You're not trying to sell a product at this time. It's your true brand building activity. Inbound is opposite of that. It's finding a way to try to drive a conversion with your customer, trying to drive them to make a sale immediately. Both are completely different, and they're used in cycles. I like to use the grocery store analogy. You go to the grocery store every single week, and you go up and down the aisles, and every single week you're picking out your products. All of a sudden you go through the chip aisle and you see nachos every week, and you say to yourself, nope, no nachos. Those aren't healthy, I don't want those. The next week you go to the grocery store, and you're walking down the same aisles, and at the end of the aisle, they place the nachos on the end cap, and sure enough, they're on sale. So you find yourself watching Netflix later, eating a plate of nachos, and you fell right into the trap of what they were trying to do, running that cycle. Modern businesses do this all the time. All of the top brands in the world adhere to this type of cycle. Whether you're watching a modern TV commercial or you're watching Netflix and you see one of your favorite products being used in the background, all of these brands are engaging in these subconscious cycles to try to capture your attention and keep their product at the top of your mind. And that's crazy. I mean, when you think of it, you don't know why you're purchasing a product. You see it subconsciously, you think of it, and all of a sudden when you have a need for it, or there's a sale, or Black Friday comes along, you rush straight to the store and buy that product that's at the top of your mind. It's interesting because when you look at some of the biggest brands in the world, they only engage in subconscious marketing until that one chance at an inbound. And every product's different. For some companies, some small businesses, they engage in very short cycles. They'll do 2 or 3 subconscious posts, and then they'll go out and try to do an inbound one. And that works for some products. But if you're trying to build your brand, it's not always about selling. It's about trying to capture and build up your brand value with a whole bunch of educational and informational content. When I talk to small business owners, they always ask me the question of, if I spend X amount of dollars, how much sales am I going to get in return? And as marketers, we have all of those analytics. We can tell them based on conversions how much their ROI is. We can do that. But I often say that they're missing the point. They're missing the target. And the reason for that is they're missing an opportunity to do more, to build their brand in a way where it's tattooed into the mind of their customers. When you look at a modern marketing approach, it all comes down to what's called brand unity. It originates from your website, which is the first point of contact with your customers. And then it builds out from there to every single platform that you guys have. So that's including social, your AdWords, your print advertising, extra content, anything that you guys put out has to be the same. It has to adhere. And this is done through your guys' brand guide. And if you don't have a brand guide, you have to get one and make it immediately. The reason for that is it's the Bible for your business. When you look at your business, and anyone, a vendor, a third party, graphic designers, anyone, they all have to be putting out the same message. And your brand guide tells you what that is. It tells you what your vision is, it tells you what your campaigns look like, it tells you what typography to use, the colors, everything to do with your business. And when you put it together, the issue right now with brand unity is everybody's doing it. It's 100% necessary, but it's no longer making you stand out as a business. So what we do now is we believe in something called digital artistry. And that's what this presentation is all about. How can you create powerful content that captures your audience's attention and makes it so that your brand stands out against the competition, so that you can build the brand? Digital artistry is everything. What it does is it allows you to take your digital graphics and take your content and things like your typography and videos, everything together, putting that little extra effort in and making it stand out. When we go through and look at digital artistry, the major thing that comes up is time. Everyone says that it takes too much time to create the powerful content, so they go with stock or they go with something simple. But I'm here to say that if you don't have enough time to create the powerful content, then invest in it. And if you can't invest in it, find the time to make it. When we look at everything, there's this trickle-down effect after you make that powerful content. You have this effect where your powerful content starts to capture the attention of the audience. They start to share it more. They start to look at it more. It gets more views. And what that does is it increases the authority of that post or of that content within the online universe. That content together then builds up your brand. It builds up the SEO of your brand. It builds up the Google Ads conversions, and it reduces your bounce rate when people go to your website. And that's powerful. That's what digital artistry can do for your brand. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. There's so many inspirational individuals in this crowd that are going to find new marketing feats and find ways to market to audiences around the world. And if I leave you with one thing today, I leave you with this. Digital artistry is so powerful. One blog can inspire a movement. One video can spark a revolution. And one post can change the hearts of a nation. The digital world is getting created now. Join together in digital artistry. It'll make all the difference in your business. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. We hope to see you all next year at MACON 2019. Thank you.